All right, let's get right into it. The 20s. Man, they're supposed to be this incredible time, right? Freedom, discovery, the whole thing. But for so many of us, it can feel more like you're just lost. Like you're trying to find your way through a maze, but someone turned out the lights. So in this explainer, we're going to grab a flashlight, map out that maze together, figure out where all the pressure points are, and hopefully find a much clearer path forward. So does that hit home for you? That feeling? You know the one. You're a little lost, not totally sure what you're doing, and maybe you feel like you're falling behind, especially when you're scrolling through your feed and it seems like everyone else has it all figured out. Well, I'm here to tell you, it's an incredibly common feeling. And when I say common, I really, really mean it. Just look at this number, 75%. Think about that for a second. That's literally 3 out of every 4 people your age. The person next to you on the bus, your coworker, the people you see online. So if you felt this way, you are so far from being alone. This is not some personal failure, okay? It's a shared experience. And you know what? This whole experience, this nagging feeling that something's just not quite right, well, it actually has a name. It's called the quarter life crisis. And this isn't just some made-up internet term. No, research confirms it's a very real documented thing, a period of really intense pressure and uncertainty that hits a massive number of people between 25 and 33. So let's dive into what that actually means, because it's not just a buzzword, you know? It's a real, genuine, transitional phase in life. And honestly, just understanding it, that's the absolute first step to getting through it. So what does it feel like? Well, it's this really powerful mix of insecurity and doubt. You start questioning absolutely everything. Is this the right career for me? Are my relationships actually good? Am I even on the right path for my future? It's just a total storm of these massive, heavy questions. But here's the thing, that huge, overwhelming feeling, we can actually break it down. And to get a handle on the stress, you first have to know what's causing it. You've got to name your demons, right? So let's pull back the curtain on the 4 big triggers that researchers say are pretty much universal for people in their 20s. And here they are, the big 4: career, money, relationships, and family. You know, these are basically the pillars you're trying to build your adult life on. And because you're building them for the very first time, they can become huge sources of stress. So let's kick things off with career. Okay, so career. For the first time, you're really trying to figure out your professional identity, right? And that pressure is just cranked up to 1,000 by hustle culture. You know, that whole vibe, the idea that your value as a person is directly linked to how productive you are, how successful you are at work. The pressure to have the perfect career path can feel absolutely crushing. Next up is a big one, money. For a lot of us, this is the first decade we're truly financially on our own. And man, that comes with some heavy baggage. In fact, over half of young adults say that money stress is messing with their mental health. That's a huge weight to carry when you're also trying to, build a life. Things like student debt or just the insane cost of living, it can make financial stability feel totally out of reach. All right, let's talk about relationships. Because it's kind of a weird paradox, isn't it? We're more connected than ever, but that built-in community from school is gone. So we're left trying to build our own social circles, a lot of the time online. And even though we're constantly connected, so many people feel this deep loneliness. We get caught in that classic comparison trap on social media, where it looks like everyone else is living a perfect life. And the last of the big 4, family. This is the decade where that whole parent-child thing has to shift into more of an adult-to-adult relationship. And yeah, that can cause some friction. You've got all this pressure, whether it's spoken out loud or not, to hit all the traditional milestones. And if you don't, it can lead to this awful feeling of failure to launch. It's a huge source of stress, and it can be made so much more intense depending on your cultural background. Okay, so we've named the triggers, but wait, here's a really important point. Not all stress is actually bad. And figuring out the difference between good stress and bad stress, honestly, it's a total game changer. This chart breaks it down perfectly. On one side, you have healthy stress, also called eustress. Think of it like the butterflies you get before a big presentation. It's short-term, it's motivating, and it feels like a challenge you can actually handle. But on the other side, you've got toxic stress, or distress. That's the complete opposite. It's long-term, it's draining, and it feels like there is no way you can cope. Think about the feeling of being crushed by debt that never goes away. And this isn't just a feeling. There's actual biology behind it. It's all about a hormone called cortisol. See, when you experience healthy stress, your body releases some cortisol to help you focus, and then your levels go right back to normal. Simple. But with toxic stress, those cortisol levels stay cranked way up all the time. And over the long haul, that can seriously damage your immune system and even your brain.
Okay, now let's zoom out. Because remember what we touched on earlier? This personal stress stuff doesn't just happen in a bubble. The culture you're in plays a huge role, and the Indian context is a really powerful example of exactly how that works.
I mean, just look at this number. Nearly 2/3, 64%, of young South Asians feel totally overwhelmed by this expectation to be settled by a certain age. And settled usually means, married with a house. This isn't just pressure you put on yourself. It's a massive external force that really shapes your life choices. And this quote right here, it just nails it. The idea that stress isn't always just your own individual thing. In a lot of cultures, it's more like this collective weight. The hopes, the dreams, the worries of your entire family network, they kind of become your personal responsibility. And it goes even deeper. You have parents who get involved, and they see it as their duty to care. But to you, it can feel like they're just interfering. Then there's choice anxiety, this wild stress that comes from having way more freedom than your parents did, but being terrified you'll make the wrong choice and let everyone down. And for women, there's often this extra layer of role strain, this insane pressure to not only kill it in your career, but also manage the entire household perfectly.
Okay, so we've defined the problem, we've named the big triggers, and we've looked at the cultural context. Now for the most important part of all, the action plan. What can you actually do to take back control?
Well, the first step is this, and it's really crucial. You can't manage what you don't measure. So to get that clarity and control back, you first need to map out your own personal stress triggers.
And here is the exact tool to do it, the personal stress trigger map. Seriously, this is a great time to just pause and actually do this. Go through each area, financial, personal, social, and write down your specific trigger. So maybe under financial, you write student loan payments. Then, and this part is so important, you have to label it. Is it a healthy stress that pushes you, or is it a toxic stress that just drains you every single day? Really be honest with yourself here.
Once you've got your map filled out, you can start making some moves. First, just look at it and spot your biggest toxic triggers. If family pressure is a big one, try using I feel statements when you talk to them. It's a simple way to express yourself without starting a fight. If it's money, look up the 50-30-20 budget rule. It can give you a huge sense of control back. And if social media is dragging you down, try a real digital detox. You'd be surprised what a difference it makes.
So, there you have it. The maze has been mapped. The path forward should be a lot clearer now. That feeling of being lost, it's not where you're supposed to end up. It's just a signal that it's time to draw a new map for yourself. And now you have the tools to do it. So the only question left is the one right here. Your map is drawn. What's your first move?